Hello, hello. It's Carrie, Sewmuchglitter. I'm just finishing getting setting up, excuse me, and kind of getting organized and looking for my live. So we're just gonna do a fun Sunday self-care day. And I did put my link tree in the chat. Hi, Stacy. I'm just kind of finishing setting up. And I'm trying to find on my phone my live so I can keep up with the chat. I hope everyone's having a fabulous start to the new year. And today I just really wanted to start with, a good start to the new year. And I kind of want to set some intentions for the year, and I want to play around a little bit with some projects I did not get to finish up in 2026. So I think I found myself. My other phone did an update last night, and it's not an iPhone, so it's a little bit more finicky. But if you guys just want to go ahead and grab a refreshment, I have some kombucha in my cup here because I'm done with my morning tea. It's 11 o'clock where I am, and I'm drinking in my Golden Girls mug today, and I'll kind of explain why in just a second. But go ahead and get settled. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm so excited you guys are here. Chat amongst yourselves, excuse me, in the chat, and we'll get going playing with some foil today. First, I wanted to start off, we are going to be playing with some foil today. I did clean off my craft desk well enough for the new year, and that was one of my intentions because I've been off of work for the last 2 weeks because I do host Christmas. I host family here from out of state. It gets really busy. So we do Christmas, touristy stuff, and then I kind of need a week to recuperate. So that's like the biggest favor I do for myself every year. And I'm at the tail end of that. Today's my last day, so I want to take full advantage of it. And we're going to be doing some foiling, finishing projects. I did tell you that, but I like to start out because 2025 has been a really good year for me. It's been a bad few years for me, since 2019 probably. 25, it started to come about, things started to come together. Life got really exciting for me, but it didn't get any easier, so that never happens, right? So I did pick up a book of positive quotations at my used bookstore the other day, and I think this is going to go with the project that I want to do today, because I really want to focus on like the good in 2026, because the media and everything that's going on in the world can be really negative, and I don't want to focus on that in my little corner of the world when I'm crafting. So I've never done this before, and what I am going to start doing is I am setting my 2026 jar, and I'm using a cup that I purchased at my Warner Brothers holiday tour, because I did do the Golden Girls experience. That was a lot of fun. So if you're in the Burbank area of California and you have a chance to do that, I highly recommend it if you're a Gilmore Girls fan. But at the end of every week in 2026, what I am setting out to do is to write on a sticky note one positive thing that happened to me during the week. I'm going to fold it up and put it in here. New Year's Eve 2026, I'm going to dump it out and read it all. So, and then I can kind of see how my 2026 wrapped up. If I don't have a great 2026, I can look at all the great things that happened to me. So yesterday, I did go to the Golden Girls experience downtown San Diego. So much fun. This is why I have my souvenir cup. It does say San Francisco on it, but they were out of the San Diego one, so I'm good with San Francisco. And I took home some goodies. Of course I did. Yeah, I thought it was a nice idea too. I just want to focus on the positive. Excuse me for my speech this morning. I've been like in bed reading a book for the first part of the morning and not really been talking to anybody. But I did take some stuff home. I took some goodies home. Little flags from our goodies that we got, and I got this. So that was a lot of fun. I went with my very dear friend and her daughter. My daughter couldn't join because she was working. But I really want to focus on friendship today. And so I had such a great time yesterday. We just made a day of it, you know? It was just so much fun. So one good thing that happened to me in 2026 at the end of, we're at the end of the first week, not really, but kind of. So I'm going to focus on all the positive that we have going, is friendship and good times. So I'm going to write that on my, and it'll be, I'm going to date it so I kind of remember. So it was yesterday, 1/3/26. Now, mind you, in my mind, the new year doesn't really start till tomorrow because that's when I have to go back to work. Hi, Michelle. So one good thing that happened to me today or this week was friendship and good time. And then I'm going to write down here, Golden Girls. Because that Golden Girls experience, the Christmas experience, we actually went to the drag show brunch. It was so much fun. It was so entertaining. It was a lot of fun. We, I did post my picture on, I was in Blanche's bedroom on my Instagram, kind of advertising my live. So what I'm going to do is just fold this up, put it in my jar, and then at the end of the year, I'm going to go for it on New Year's Eve and see all the good things that happen to me. So one good thing, that's great. Oh, is it shaky? It might be me. Thank you for telling me because I'm not really aware. Maybe it's because I was writing. So let me know if it keeps doing it. I think I have my mount tight enough, but I might need to move it. But I think it's probably me. So, okay. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm starting off with a positive quote because I love the positive quotes. And of course, I'm going to start off with friendship. So without friends, no one would choose to live, though we had all other goods, right? And then the two most important things in life are good friends and a strong bullpen. So there we go. And then I used for my bookmark, because I think I'm going to kind of focus on this for what I'm creating today, is I used one of my prompts out of my 12 Days of Christmas that I created. And, oh, it is? It has to be... Okay, hold on. I'm going to try to move it. Okay. I am off the laundry room as well. I don't know why that would do it though, but I do have a load of laundry going. Okay, let me try to tighten it up. Let me know if it still keeps happening, and then I'm going to have to... Oh, you know why? Because my Mink is plugged in behind me and I have the cord up against my desk on the wall, and I'm wondering if that's what's doing it. So I'll try to just kind of keep plugging along and get a little bit more steady here. Like if you have any words of wisdom to keep the... I thought I had a pretty good camera mount that's mounted to my desk because my other one doesn't work very good. So I'm just going to kind of keep it there. If it makes you dizzy, let me know. Okay, so we're going to start with, also here's a flip through. I did post this on my reels for YouTube, and I posted it my stories yesterday on Instagram, but this is what I created on the New Year's Eve Streamathon. And oops, so I'm going in the back. And so I just kind of want to do a really quick flip through. And you guys watched me create this on New Year's Eve. And so here's the finished project. And I think my reel on YouTube didn't catch the whole frame. I knew I had book, you know what these are called. I'm losing it. The book, the checkout, when you check out a book at the library. So I knew I had these in my stash, so I kind of brought those out and put those in here because I thought this was perfect. So this is going to be, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you guys here. This is going to be my, all of the books that I've read in 2026, and I'm going to kind of document them in here and then create a little mini ornament of all the book covers. I have more. I used this. This is from Lottie's Magic Attic. You can find that, all of that in my link tree. So I just wanted to do a really quick flip through here. and then get started. Maybe it is my legs. I always thought I'm using my son's old computer desk, and it's normally pretty sturdy, but it might not be. So I am gonna probably have to look into that just a little bit and kind of put something below. Because is it still shaking? I've honestly never had that feedback before, so I kind of don't know where to start with fixing it right at this moment. Thank you, I like it. Okay, it still is shaking. Is it making you guys dizzy? I don't see it shaking for me. But I'll just kind of keep pushing through and see if it'll... Yeah, there's nothing I can do today. It seems even on my floor, so I'll just kind of keep playing with it, because my camera mount isn't moving, and it's just me kind of touching the desk that's doing it, maybe. Unless if my head is bumping the camera, and that very well may be, so let me be a little bit more aware of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I am going to do some hot foiling, and I have a Mama Mink, and by Mama Mink I mean I have the big one. I do have some new things from Crafty Critta that I purchased before the holidays that I want to kind of come out and use, because I did run out of time. I also have on the side of me a journal I've been working on since I went to go see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. And so this has just been like a personal project for my own memory keeping. I wanted to create a card to go in here, or cards very reminiscent of like something shiny from the Wizard of Oz. So that's what I wanted to do today. And I have some Crafty Critta foil art, which I love to use. I do not have like an inkjet printer. Okay, good. It did stop. I do see it a little bit because I'm lagged a little bit when I'm moving things. So I'm going to have to stabilize my desk a little bit more. So I just purchased the foil art, which is much easier for me. I did purchase some new transfer carrier sheets. I have some color toner sheets, which are a lot of fun. And Crafty Critta is a small business where Scott and Michelle are husband and wife, and they do own it and operate it. And they're very good customer service. I really just love them. And so I've been purchasing from them for a very long time. They are in Australia, so be mindful of that. But when we were having issues, which we probably still are with the whole tariff thing, they didn't add on an extra fee for that. I think my shipping fee went up a little bit. So that was to be expected. There's nothing that they can do about that. But if that's not your issue and you're part of the world where you are, no worries. But their shipping is really fast. I can track everything, and I like it. So I did order some new transfer carrier sheets because I normally just do card making, and I'm probably going to make an A2 card. So I need to get a card base on my end. But what I want to do, I really wanted to use the Lava Flow because it's gorgeous. And it reminds me of the ruby red slippers. So I wanted to make a background with that. And then I have some of the fun ephemera over here off to the side of me to put that on a card. I just need to pick out a background. So I'm going to set that back here. And I honestly don't know what background I want to use. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play with our waste, because in foiling there really is no waste. So that's really nice. And that's what these colored toner sheets are for. And it just adds like an extra fun little element to your project. So I have lots of these. No, you're not being annoying. You're actually giving me good feedback. So thank you, Stacy. I may need to bring my son over here because he lives down the road, and ask him how to adjust the desk because I don't know how. But I will be mindful of that. Anyway, so I'm just going to pick out a background for, let's see, I don't know what background I really want to use. That's going to kind of remind me of, I think this one. This one will remind me of Wizard of Oz because of the poppy scene. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to take out what I want to use. Sometimes I'm not very gracious with opening the packages, so I rip them because I'm putting them back as kind of a chore in its own. So I've used this before, and these come with 2 in each. I don't have them lined up very evenly because I've gone through them before. And then there's directions on the back how to use it. Now, I do not foil with a laminator. So oh, is it Michelle's making me move? She's making me shake. I do not foil with a laminator. So I don't really have any good advice for you to do that. Hi, Trisha. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. I just do my mink because I use this as a laminator as well. I really like my Mama Mink because she's sturdy and I get really good results every time. I don't need to sit here and warm her up for 15, 20, 30 minutes. I love this thing. I've had this thing forever, as you can tell. I kind of just put stickers on it and little reminders for myself. Yeah, so if you're foiling with a laminator, I don't really have great advice for you today. But what I do need to do, because these carrier sheets are a little bit small. These are more for my A2 card. I'm going to get out my big transfer sheet. So what I'm going to do is I turned it on and I'm just going to press it on the heat that I want. I normally find 3 or 4 is good for me. And then when it beeps and it goes green, it'll light up. So let me go grab that really quick. It's just right here. And I kind of keep these around for a little bit. I use them, I love them, and I keep them, and foil gets on them. And as you can see, I have 1 for slimline cards. It does not affect my future foiling. I used to buy a package of these at Joann's when Joann's was around and with us. But I've never been able to find a pack that carries all of everything that I want. So I kind of just keep her around. And I've overfoiled with her. I've done it all. And the foil is on here. So I keep her. It doesn't affect anything, to be honest. She just doesn't look pretty, but she's well loved. So, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set this up here. She does take a lot of space on my craft desk. So that being said, and I don't have a very big craft area anymore. I used to have a big craft room, but my kids like to use that room, and so that's where my daughter is right now. So I make do with the space that I have, and then my son gave me the desk, so maybe I'll have him come over later today and adjust it. Oh, nice, Trisha. So you're new to foiling. I'm not like an expert foiler, but I've been around foiling enough. See, she's ready because she's green and she beeped at me. She's only going to stay on. She will get hot up here. Like it will, don't set anything up here because she does get pretty hot. But she has like a safety shut off. So after like 20 or 30 minutes and she hasn't been used, she'll automatically shut off. So if you forget to shut her off, she'll shut off. And yes, she's a girl. She's my Mama Mink. And so what I do is I just use like an old makeup brush. So I'm really glad you're seeing something new today. And I purchased this at Target at the dollar spot, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years ago. And this is the only thing I've ever used it for. And because I do have cats and we all do have things that blow around in the craft room, and we make a mess of our own on our crafting table. So what the black is the toner. So what's going to happen is the foil's going to stick to the toner and we're going to do like a big reveal. I love it every time because it just looks so beautiful. But I do kind of dusty. If you've watched Nancy Stamps at all or watched her Foiling Snobs Club or whatever, That's what I say to remind myself of it. Okay, so I'm going to take out the foil, and I do have special foiling scissors because I have a box that I keep all of my foiling goods in. Now I just set something on top of what I did, so I'm gonna have to do it again, and I get out my foiling scissors. I have foil probably from every company in here. And I'm going to have to be honest, my Crafty Critta foil lasts and sticks, and I get the best results every single time. So I really focus on just using their foil. And their foil is really not flimsy. And I like the way I just like the way that the results that I get. And if you purchase from them and you don't get even results, you can reach out to them and let them know. They'll walk you through. Like, they will walk you through it. Okay, so there is a little sticker on here, and I kind of need to take this off. And I'll try my best in my not gracious fashion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this. I'm going to measure this just a little bit bigger than my sheet that I want to foil. Just a little bit. If you measure it too much bigger, and I'm just going to leave it like this, and this might be too much, but that's fine. That's where I get the overage on my carrier sheet. So I'm just going to try to cut as evenly as I can, which is not going to be very even because I am me. Okay. And I'm going to try to put the sticker back on to kind of keep it all nice and tidy. And I'll put it back in the bag just so it doesn't scratch or scrape or anything like that, and it stays nice and dust free in here. Okay, so I'm going to do my dusting again just to get off all of any dusting particles, because what happens if we have any dust or anything right here, it won't foil over, and you're going to look at it and you're going to have missed spots and you're going to be like, oh no. And then I do foil the back of my, or I do dust the back of my foil, and then we just want to put it pretty side up and lay it in here. And I just kind of smooth it out like that. Now I am going to have to scoot my mink towards me because it's going to feed all the way through, and I have then a wall behind me. So what happens is I don't have to do anything else. I just make sure it goes in here evenly because it will kind of eat it up and scrunch it up and wrinkle. And I just make sure it goes in here evenly, and I hold it and I kind of guide it. And I'll try to catch up on any chat. So if my desk is still bugging you, let me know, and then I think I'll probably call my son and be like, look, you need to come over here to adjust the desk. I have a fresh loaf of bread for them anyway, so that's perfect. Okay, and what I do is I just keep guiding it. Like, I hold it and I guide it because I've done this before. This is me learning from experience and kind of screwing things up because that's what I do. I've not paid attention to it or whatever, and it's gotten, like, it's not fed through here evenly, or it's gotten all scrunched up, like something's happened with my carrier sheet, whatever. And this is going to be warm to the touch, but it's kind of cooling off as it's coming out. And it'll just keep going out until there's no more to go out. Okay. I am going to turn that off because she'll keep getting warmer. And if I set anything on top of her. So what we want to do is we don't want to peel anything off until this is cool. But it's already cool. Like, it's rainy and 65 out, so like it's humid and pretty cool anyway, but we just don't want to pull it off when it's still hot because it could still be transferring and you're not going to get anything stuck. So there is a little bit of wrinkles in it, which is fine. As I said, I'm not the expert. But even with some wrinkles in it, I normally don't have a big issue. So if you can kind of see that, and you can see the flowers through here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly peel this off. And now everything that was black is now foiled. It's now the red lava foil. And this is where we go, ooh, ah, that is so pretty and sparkly. And I like it. I just love it. I think it turns out very pretty. Now where I had the wrinkles, I can't tell. Like, I don't know, like I knew that there was wrinkle on my foil, but I can't tell in the product, like the finished product. And then this is what you're left with. And then this is what is called the waste for foiling. Save this. We're going to do something fun with it in just a second. Okay. It's really cool. It's really pretty. I love it. It's like magic. It's kind of like, embossing, if that's, yeah, embossing, right? Like when you see it magically like get really pretty. And you could save the discards for junk journaling. Exactly. So, but that's what we're gonna use our color transfer sheet for. So I'm gonna make a card out of this, and I am going to make probably an A2 card, because this is the journal I'm creating the card for. Or that's the journal that has inspired my card. So I do have a few card bases behind me in my stash. I'm gonna go reach for those really quick. And I just have a fun box that I purchased a few years ago at Michael's, and this is where I put my card bases at. And I kind of like have templates for cards. I have card bases in here. I thought I had more than what's in here. So I could just use craft. I could use white. I might need to make a few more card bases. I really thought. And then I have some things from a card swap in here that I just didn't want to part with. Let's see. Yeah, no. Okay, so I'm going to have to make a few card bases is what I'm going to do, because I'm not sure I want to use the craft color. I guess I didn't come as prepared as I thought, but you know what? It's Sunday, and this is part of it. Okay, so I use 120 pound, 140 pound cardstock for my card bases. I used to use a lot heavier. I used to only use 140 or above, but now that I kind of layer up my cards a lot more, that's just not necessary. So this is still a little bit warm, but it's not like hot. And I'm going to try to scoot this out of the way the best I can. Okay. Then I'm going to use my new trimmer, and I'm going to put my happy jar up there. And then this is just how I make my card bases. Normally I sit in front of the TV and I bulk make card bases, and I have not had time to do that. So there's that. And I just cut it on the long side at 5.5. And I'm going to do this like 2 or 3 times, and this makes 2 card bases each time. Do 5.5. This is actually a scoring tool as well. So it has a scoring blade. I just don't remember where I set it. Like I should remember, right? I should remember where I'm setting things. Okay. So, but for the sake of everything being just a little bit easier, I'm going to get out my scoring tool, and then I'm going to score these really quick. And these card bases will be ready to go. Okay, and I'm just going to score it at 4.25. Fold them, and you can kind of see how this goes really fast. I always really like to put cards in my junk journals, because I just like with a belly band or something fun, because especially if you're giving your junk journals away, it just kind of adds a fun little element. Like they can keep it, the card, and use it like as part of the gift or as part of the journaling or part of the memory keeping. or they can pay it forward and use it, you know. I don't know, it's just kind of fun. I just like to add that because I was a scrapbooker first when my kids were really little. And so my family lived up in Washington State because that's where I'm originally from, but I raised my kids down here in San Diego because that's where my ex-husband was from, and this is where our business was. And I like it down here a lot better, so there's that. Hi, Ellen, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. So I did a lot of memory keeping when my kids were really young, and so I was doing a lot of the scrapbooking, and as my kids got older and I didn't need to do as much memory keeping anymore, I went into Cricut crafting, and that really saved me during a really dark part of my life. And that's where I just kind of fell in love with card making. So, okay, so we're going to want to trim this down. I don't know. We want to make this like it just... I'm not doing a different score for how I want to make it. So if I want to make the card like this, perfect. Like that, perfect. I'm not really sure. I think it'd be more efficient because the flowers aren't really directional. It doesn't matter. And it's kind of reminding me of the poppy. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. And then we should be good with, this is probably already, it was already almost at 5 1/2. So this we can make, save for juncturelling as well. Okay. And so then that will be my card front. And I could really, we could do another one as well. And then make like a bigger border out of it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out my handy dandy pencil because measuring everything all of the time to be perfect kind of becomes a little bit of a pain. So what I'm gonna do is just do that. And now we have 2 cards. 2 cards with 1 foiled sheet of paper. So I'm going to set this aside, and I want to show you guys how I use the waste as well. And then we're going to make these 2 complete cards, and that's going to be part of my journal. I'm going to put these back in my stash. And while I'm finishing binge watching my TV show later today, I am going to make a bunch of card bases. Okay. So I said I had more magic to show you. That's exactly what I want to do. And I'm probably going to use a few different colored sheets of foil. And so we can just kind of play around. So we have the colored toner sheets here, and I love the colored toner sheets. And some of these come with like real fun designs. This already kind of has a design, and I had another set of colored toner sheets. I thought... But I, for the life of me, do not know where they went. So, in celebration of Valentine's Day and mixing colors and doing bright like pinks and all of that together, I'm going to foil over this, and then I'll kind of show you how that's done. Because I did not leave my Mama Mink on, I need to turn her back on. And I'll scoot her out towards me. She's still a little bit warm, but she's not hot. Hi, April. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, so we're doing some foiling with Crafty Critta today. And then so I turned her on. And I use the number 3. The 3 heat setting is perfect for me. Once you kind of get foiling and you get going, you know what is best for you and the results that you want. She's already ready. She's ready to go. I am going to dust this off again because you never know what is lurking in my craft room. I do know it's glitter because I was doing glitter just the other day, and there's a piece of it right there. So it was right on my toner sheet, the glitter. So if that would have stayed there, that would have not have foiled over, and that would have been a missed spot. So this is why I do the dusting. Okay. And then we just want this just a little bit bigger than the toner sheet. And I'm going to kind of set it up in the best of the middle as I can. Smooth it out. I'm going to scoot this a little bit closer to me because remember, it's going to feed all the way through. I don't want to lose my junk journal piece. Set it aside. So what I didn't say before is I want to put it folded side in. You open side towards you, folded side in, pretty side up. So those are like little things that we can tell ourselves to remember, and just make sure it feeds through here evenly and nothing gets caught. I'm glad you guys are here today for Self-Care Sunday. I'm really excited to do some foiling. I haven't done foiling in a while. And this will be the last Sunday that I don't have any homework until the summer. I'll be done with my master's degree. This time next year I'll be done, like December, I think, next year. And I'll be done with classes this summer, and then I go into my practicum and my internship and start collecting hours for licensure. But I'll be very excited to not have any homework anymore. And my job's very like demanding, and I'm going to be on call twice this month. I looked at the schedule because I'm going back to work tomorrow. So that's going to kind of throw a wrench into like when I can do my homework as well. So I'm going to take advantage of my last Sunday for the next 6-7 months of not having any homework. And I'm just going to continue going live on Sundays at 11 a.m. It works really, really well for me, and I'm not going to force this out. It's just going to continue to feed through. And then there, it's done. Again, I'm going to turn it off and move it. I don't have to turn it off. That's not necessary, but at the risk of setting something on top of it and melting it. And this is getting my mat a little bit warped because it is hot down here. It won't stay warped because this mat is like been with me through everything. But I will have to take Stacy's advice and make sure I'm not shaky anymore. Okay, so we just take that out. And then we're going to do the big reveal, and I'm going to try to do this as close to the camera as I can without moving and bumping anything. And remember, this is our waist that we did. So the first result was here with the toner sheet. Now this is the waist with the colored toner sheet. And we'll just peel it up. And you kind of hear, now you hear it. It sounds like tape coming off of something. And then there we go. That's the colored toner sheet. I really like this. I think it's really pretty. It's really versatile. It's a lot of fun. You could do this. You could fold this and make it its own card, to be perfectly honest with you, if that's what you wanted to do. Add a little sparkle to your junk journals. And now we have true waist. Now I can throw this away. Before, we did not have the waist. That was called the waist, but we didn't want to throw it away. No foil left behind. So this is the toner sheet, this is the foiling. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a different color as well, and I want to bring out, I think, the winter rainforest. And you can get toner sheets from anywhere, honestly. Like, you can, this is why I miss Joann's. Joann's used to have it all. See, that was the last of the colored toner sheet that I used from Crafty Critta. But I find everything with Crafty Critta honestly, it just works better. I get better results. I get more even foiling. I just like it. And I get more sheets in here. This is 8 sheets. A lot of the other ones come with 6 sheets. They're more expensive. They're really small. Let me see what else do we think would look good with our Wizard of Oz junk journal. I really like this. That could be reminiscent of the tornado. I forgot the word for a moment. Bear with me. Oh, okay. So I am, Ellen, I'm sorry, I didn't specify yesterday. I am Pacific Standard Time. So I'm in California. I'm in Southern California. So it is 11:45 my time, 2:45 your time. So if you're Eastern Standard Time, and anybody else in between, I don't know your time zones. I apologize. But I'll be here Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's kind of just my self-care time and my time for myself. My daughter's at work and the cats are fed. Everybody's quiet and it's the time. Winter Rainforest, that's what I'm going to use for this. I really, really like this. I've not looked at this really close up, but if you look at it really close up, you're probably not going to be able to see on camera. These dots are little stars. And they're holographic. So pretty. Oh, Ellen, welcome. I lived in New York for a little bit when I was in high school. And we used to always fly out of airport at New Jersey because it was cheaper at the time. That was in the 90s, but okay. And I'm going to peel off this sticker. So yeah, so maybe 2 p.m. your time, Ellen. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I did not peel that off graciously at all. I've done this before. And then I just can't save the sticker, but it's fine because I put it back in the plastic bag anyway. But I don't want to lose any of my foil is the thing. So, well, it looks like I'm just going to have to lose a little bit of it. Let me get out my foiling scissors, and I'm just going to cut that. Like, I'm not going to keep messing with it, because if I keep peeling that off and scraping it, it's going to peel some of the foil off. So I did not cut that straight, did I? So I was trying to cut around the sticker. Okay. Honestly, you could save this for junk journaling too, if that's what you want to do. Okay. So I'm going to measure this. Remember, just a little bit bigger than the project. And then I'm just going to trim it down the best I can. The best. That's all we do is the best. I stopped measuring my best against somebody else's best a long time ago. That's the freedom of my late 40s. If your best is better than mine, I'm really proud of you, and I will be your cheerleader in your corner. Okay, so I put it right back in here. And flip it back around. And there's still a little bit of a sticker, it looks like, right there. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Okay, so I'm going to dusty and dusty this too, because we do not want any little particles and glitter that I have reminiscent of my Junk Journal January project. Okay, put this down, even it out, and then we're going to feed it through. So I'm going to bring this back out. If you have a big enough space to do everything all at once, I mean, that's great. That's what you can do. So I turned it on. I turn it on to 3. And then I'm going to wait till it beeps at me and it turns green. It only takes 30 seconds at the most, and that's when you're turning it on from cold. So it's still warm, so it shouldn't take that long. So are you all doing a self-care Sunday for crafting? That's like my favorite kind of Sunday. Guys, I'm still in my pajamas. I have daytime pajamas and nighttime pajamas. My grandson's not coming over today. That's ready, but I do have soup and bread for them as well. But like, I don't have to be completely prepared. And I need to recenter this in here. So I'm just relaxing. I'm taking full advantage of my last day off because I have had 17 days off and it has been heaven. It's really made me reevaluate like career decisions. Oops. So I'm gonna have to wait till it goes green again. It will feed through. I knew it was hot enough, but I accidentally pressed it And 5 is the hottest, 0's off, 1 is the least amount of heat. And also another reason why you get better results with a Mama Mink compared to a laminator is because there's heavy duty industrial rollers in here that smush this all down, and they're even rollers. I learned this by going on their website actually before I purchased this, because this was kind of an expensive purchase at the time. And it showed me like how the minks are made. They have little desktop sized minks. They have the big 12 by 12 minks. But I learned that way, like, why is the mink better than a $28 laminator at Walmart, right? So I thought if I was going to be investing in all of these supplies, and you can hear the wheels going, I wanted to get something that was going to last me. And I've had this for a long time. So we'll just keep kind of guiding it through and let it feed through. And then we'll get to see the magic in action again, but with the green. And then I have a funky design for, let's see, where did it go? Oh, is it over here? Yeah. I have some funky designs for the green, which would be kind of fun. And then you can make card bases out of this. You can make anything for your junk journal. Like, you could make pockets out of this. It's just a lot of fun. I might make some pockets out of this actually and put it in my Wizard of Oz journal. Okay. I'm going to keep it on because I'm going to go right into the other one before I do my project. And I just want to let it cool off just a minute. It's basically already cool. You can see it's a little bit wrinkled. That normally does not transfer over with the Mama Mink, but there is the, ooh, oh, the reveal. There we go. And that is the Winter Rainforest. I love it. I just think it looks so, so pretty. And remember, here's our waist, but not to be waste. So the mink is more expensive than the actual laminator. I have this as my carrier sheet, and this is like a heavy duty plastic, and I've had this for a few years. So I don't purchase new ones of these a whole lot. I just did purchase new transfer carrier sheets that are smaller and more like A2 card size. So that's the first time I purchased new transfer carrier sheets, geez, in like 3 years. So my Mama Mink, when I purchased her, she was like $179. Price has gone down significantly on these things, so I don't think they're as expensive. And Crafty Critta does have your Best Mate toner foiling system, which is just like a Mama Mink. It's smaller, it can be on your desktop, and it's quite a bit more inexpensive. So I just already had this, so I didn't want to purchase another one. I try to be a little bit more economical sometimes because I don't want to be working until forever. Okay, let's just take this out, and all the directions are right here on the back. That's what I really like with Crafty Critta too. Okay, so let me turn this over. Let's see what we think would look good with this. And you can just kind of set it over. And like, that's a lot of fun. That's really colorful. That'd be a really good birthday card, actually. So you can just see kind of where, like, you know, things get going. That's really fun. I like that. I think I'm going to stick with that. But I wanted to look at this because this was a little bit more monochromatic. And no, I don't think that's going to work. That one's, no, I really like that one. Okay, I really liked this. Yeah. I like this for a fun birthday card a lot. And I'll try to keep everything together and put it back in the package or back in the package adjacent. And we're gonna use up our waste now. And we're going to do the dusty so nothing, particles get on it. And remember, it's pretty side up, so you want to dust the opposite side that's going to be going on. And it's going to be just a little bit bigger than the toner sheet, which is fine. That's what we want. Okay, and then just smooth this out because it is plastic. It'll kind of want to stick to itself. I'm going to scoot this back out towards myself. Folded side's going to go in. And we're going to keep feeding through. And every Sunday I'll do something a little bit different. I just thought today would be fun to kind of come into the new year with some intentions and some positive vibes and some self-care. So I just wanted to keep it nice and fun and sparkly, and I can probably finish up a project I've been working on. Although my Wizard of Oz journal is kind of a labor of love for me. So that's probably just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep creating with it because it's my own memory keeping one. And then I did do a flip through of my New Year's Eve Streamathon journal, so you can see that short on my YouTube. And when this all loads up, my live, it does take a little bit to load up. It takes a while actually. So I don't know if that's just me or I don't know why, but it'll eventually load up. But I do have another video on my channel that came out today at midnight on my time for Junk Journal, January UK, and my day was frosted, so I have my project there, and I did some really fun easy pockets. And I'm just going to keep guiding this up. I guide it up because I have a wall right behind me, and if I keep just going straight, it'll get all wrinkled and ruin my project, and I don't want to do that. Okay. Here we go. It's still a little bit warm, but it's not hot because it cools off fairly quickly. So now we're going to have the waist reveal. And this stuck like all the way to it, which is fine. And now we have our real waist. So I do have some missed spots in here, but you know what, I might not. Like some little white spots. That might have been my foil. That might have been me. Or I'm going to try to see if this had any white spots in it. It didn't. So I think that's me. Oh, there is some white streaking a little bit on the shadow, but there's a little bit of streaking right there. But it's so slight that when you give this to your recipient, they're not going to notice. And then we can cut this down for whatever we want. Hi, Christina. Welcome. So this is what we have. We did our first one will be reminiscent of the poppies. I'm going to make cards out of these, and this is the waist for this with the color toner sheet. This is the Winter Rainforest, and the red is the Lava Flow, just kind of for your reference if you want to know. And this is the green. Very vibrant. I love it. It's so pretty. And for people that like don't foil and they just receive cards or journals or whatever from you, and this is the waist. You know, it's like magical. I don't know. I like it. I love it. I'm going to kind of set this aside. My mink is just going to stay in front of me because that's where she is for right now. And this is what the toner sheet looks like before. Before, after I cut her up, and then waist. So there's that. So we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to go ahead and make these cards. And I think I want to make one of these a pocket for my journal. So I'm going to set this up here just right in front of me. It's still a little bit warm to the touch, but I have lots of ephemera for my Wizard of Oz junk journal. And I saved the tag for my t-shirt, and then I put a decorated piece of paper on the back. I know, Gina, you got a real big ooh, ah moment. I love it. That's like my favorite part. Even when I'm just sitting here foiling alone, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see. I want to see it. It's so pretty. Okay, so we have a lot. I have a printable. I have stickers I purchased from a craft day on, is it QVC or HSN? Who does the craft day? I don't know. So anyway, and this is Paper House Productions. So there's that. And this is from Petals and Parchment. Elizabeth does a lot of really fun designs. And this kit that I purchased has a lot in it. Okay. And these are just trying to find some ephemera that I want to go on the front of the card. Oh, there's the poppies, right? I don't know if that's going to be a little bit big. I don't know. Maybe we'll cut it out and we'll see. Here's the bag. I saved everything, like I did. I saved my napkins. I saved it all from going to the Sphere in Las Vegas when I saw the Wizard of Oz. Saved it all. No apologies. Okay, so let me cut this out. It might be a little bit too big. I might have a punch though. I do have a punch that I might be able to get. I can kind of just punch that out. I don't know if that's what I want to do. I don't know. Let's not make the big decision yet. Let me cut it out. And these are printables I printed out. I'm not very good with downsizing the printable, which I know I can do with my my printer, but I haven't like gotten that creative with my printer yet. I've only had my printer for like about a year. And I haven't messed with the settings like that too much. Like I know a lot of people, you can print 2 images to a page. I haven't figured that out. I really need to probably sit down and watch a tutorial for my printer. But I have not done that. And a lot of the designers like on Ko-fi or Etsy will kind of give you different sizes for that reason, because it's just easier. Just print and go. Print and craft. That's what I want to do. Okay. So this actually does fit on here, so I don't need to make this any smaller. I kind of want, I don't know though, do I want to make it smaller? Because now we kind of missed the flower, but that's okay. I'm not mad at it. This one I'll create something maybe a little bit smaller. And maybe just like a fun sentiment at the top. I'm going to ink this up though, but I do have sentiments. And I'm going to use some of these sentiments from the stickers that I have. My desk is a mess, so I apologize. But we're crafting. This is what you had the power inside you all along. That's fine. It's not where you go, but who you meet along the way, or follow your own path. So I'm debating if I want to do follow your own path, or it's not where you go, but who you meet along the way. And that blue might tie into that a little bit better. And that'll go with my friendship intention that I said at the beginning. I think that's what I'll do. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my brush, my blending brush, and I'm just going to do a tea dye. Simply because this is a white core paper and my cuts were not perfectly even. And this hides that, and this also kind of brings focus into the ephemera. It just makes it stand out a little bit better. So So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue that down. So I'm decorating my card front first, and then I'll glue on my card base. I'm going to get out my handy dandy glue press. But I did remember to put the lid on. You could, if this is going to be like a card that you're giving to somebody, you could make this like a little pocket and you could slip a gift card in here, like whatever you want. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just going to glue it down here all the way. Okay. Wanted to thank you guys again for joining me today. I hope you're having fun learning about my little foiling process. And you enjoyed the results. Take some self-care time for yourself today. Okay, and then I'm just gonna get this sticker. Uh-oh, so my stickers are a little bit older. Okay, there we go. It just kind of peeled up a little bit, didn't it? So what I'm gonna do is, I don't use my stickers fast enough in my stash. I just don't. I'm gonna dot not a lot on the back of my sticker. Just because I don't want it to come up. And I don't know how old this kid is. I think this kid's like 2 or 3 years old. Oops. So I did bump the camera there. If I'm, I don't know. It moved at the last minute. I'm going to save that. And I'm just going to cut it right there. And that's kind of just how I'm going to have it. It's not where you go, but who you meet along the way. Thank you, Ellen. I'm glad you're here. Now you can add any other little embellishments that you want. I didn't make like a huge border, and this is just going to be my card. I don't know if I'm gonna really like get into decorating the inside of the card. I could, I guess, a little bit. And this card is gonna go in my journal. And let me see. I have to look at it just so, because my vision. I'm going to try to get this on here as straight as I can, but I think it is where it is at this point. And this, it's my base that's not folded perfectly straight either. Okay. There. So there is the first card. So what I'm going to do, because I didn't put it on there perfectly straight, is I'm just going to ink up the edges. And it makes it less noticeable. And there's kind of a lot going on here anyway. So the focus is on the foil. But I like to do a lot of the blending around the edges and things like that, just to kind of even things out. Makes it look a little bit better. Okay, so now we could put something on the inside of the card. And I think it would be perfect for these guys to go on the inside of the card, just because of the sentiment that's on the front. And again, I am going to do the glue. You don't have to do this, but my stickers aren't new. So I just want them to stand the test of a little bit of time. And I don't want them peeling off. I'm just going to put this right in the center. I could have inked up those guys around the edges if I wanted, because they kind of blend in there a little bit. So instead of, and I'm going to ground them, I think. Now we're going to get a little bit more creative. I don't want them just floating around. What are they walking on? They should be walking on the yellow brick road. So this is what drew my attention. They could be grounded on that, or they could be grounded on the yellow brick road. I don't know. What do we think? Because I'm kind of sticking with the whole poppy theme, but we clearly know that it is. I think I'm going to do the poppies, honestly. And I'm just going to put this right here, dot, dot, not a lot. I don't know how much longer it is. Okay, let's see. And then this, they just kind of sit perfectly right there. But we want to see her shoes, right? It's all about the shoes. There we go. It's not where you go, but who you meet along the way. And here is our card. That is going to go in this journal that I just keep plucking away at. And I'm going to go ahead and put that right in there for now. And then I am going to create another card, which, okay, I was like, where did my things go? You give me a space to set things on my craft desk. I'm going to set them there, and then I'm probably going to lose them. So this is going to be, this could be like another card base. So what I'm going to do really quick, you can see my thinking pattern gets distracted as I start to get a little bit creative. I'm going to take these out because these are 4. And then there's no place like home at the back. I think I'm going to like maybe make this like a little pocket or a tip out. And we can kind of decide how we want that to look. That would be a lot of fun. Would be fun like to glue this as the, oops. Glue this as like have this as the backing. And then it could be just like a little bit of a tip out right here or somewhere in here. I think that would be fun. Here's the vellum that I used on my live for New Year's Eve. I really like this vellum. Okay. So we're going to do that. I'm going to try not to take up too much of your time. But we want to have a chance to get a little bit creative at the same time. Save your scraps. And just this in the middle. I'm going to kind of find where my middle was because I just had that folded in the middle. And this is going to be a 4 1/4. I really like this new trimmer that I have too, because 4 1/4 is marked all the way up and it's marked along as you go. So if like you can't read that up there, you have a little bit of grace. 5 1/2. And then I know because it's that dotted line. It's like the broken dotted line. So. And this trim is really easier on your hands too. Like the older I get, like my hands will cramp up because I'm crafting, and I'm not going to stop crafting. So I get tools that are easier for me to craft with. Okay. Oh, I did it a little bit bigger. Look at me, not measuring. I thought I did measure. What happened? Who knows, right? This might be shorter. It is. It is. It was that one that was shorter, so it's okay. Because that one will have a little bit of a border around it. If I was going to make a card out of it. So, make my handy dandy pencil mark. Put the trash next to me. And there we go. Maybe make it a little bit shorter. Okay. Take a smidgen off. That's all we're doing. Okay. And I'm just going to glue this straight to the back just so, because I want this to be a tip out, and it gives it a decorative backing is what that does. I'm hoping I work later. I'm the late supervisor this week, so I work a little bit later, so I'm hoping I'll be able to come out with another video this week. I want to make my craft roulette card. I haven't been able to do that much during the holiday season either. I haven't had time. You guys watch craft roulette? I love craft roulette. I should be at Club 52 by now, but I'm not. This is a little bit longer. But I don't know if I'll have time. I'm hoping I will. Okay. There we go. I'll just kind of trim it up very even. Yeah, so you can see my measuring skills. I'm not a mathematician. I'm definitely not that. So I'm going to make this a tip out in the journal. Welcome, welcome, Mama. Thank you from the balcony. Thank you for saying hi. I tend to do that in chats too. So here's the card that I made, and we're just going to put that right in here, in the pocket, and then I'll decide where I want the tip out. I don't know. I was thinking that last piece of paper because it was light, and this is a pocket that I did. This is also a fun pocket. I did create this on one of my lives, if you wanted to go back and watch that. The red and the green go really well together. They're really close together on the coloring wheel too. So we could do that. I think I might do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably... I was going to say I was going to staple it, but you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to use some of my Tim Holtz cello tape. And because it'll make it a little, it'll make the hinge a little bit more flexible if I use my cello tape. I'm going to do it this way because that's a thin piece. And then you can kind of see it goes over the edge there. Actually, I should have hinged it twice, and that's not very even of me, is it? Oh well. It happens. It happens. So that'll be considered the off-center middle of the first one I did. And I'll peel off my cello tape. I just found more of the cello tape too at Hobby Lobby when I was there. Because again, my first of the year does not start till tomorrow because that's when I go back to work. So I thought I can go. Oh, I did it upside down, but you know what? I'm not worried about it. It's fine. So I went into Hobby Lobby to look at a lot of like the discounted things, and then here's my center. Is I purchased glitter paper from Walmart, and I only can find it online, but it's printable glitter paper, and so nothing sheds, and it just prints like a dream. This is a printable. I love it. So that's my center piece. Okay, so we're gonna make one more card. And if it's going to be for the journal, I don't know, but it's going to stay with the journal. And we will just do, I'm probably going to, let's see, we could flip it. Oops. 5.5 by 4 1/4. And these little, oops, I think I'm caught in it. The little broken dotted lines kind of help me along the way. Save this for my journal. And let's see. And then that's just on here, but I think I want to make it this way, I think. Because I wanted to play up like the witch a little bit. And I have a bunch of stickers for the witch. This is like washi stickers though, so it's pretty clear. So I really like that picture of her, to be honest. Only bad witches are ugly. It says, that's funny. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. And I do want to, I don't want to trim up around her anymore, but because I am going to put glue on the back of this anyway, I just kind of want to fill in a little bit of that white space. So I think if the Wicked Witch is a little bit grungy, it's fine. It goes more with her presentation. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of glue. Just dot, just so she stays sticking down. Because now I have my fingers all over her. And I'm gonna put her off to the side down here so I don't feel like I have to ground her on anything because she's just kind of coming out of here. Oh no, did I rip her? See, the stickers are really old. So I'm gonna put her off in the corner there. We have some monkeys going on. And let's do some flying monkeys. And I'm just gonna do the same thing. Honestly, this might be just a little bit easier. As I say that, now this monkey's gonna be stuck here forever. And it's gonna be a new decoration on my mat. Okay. All right. Gonna have the monkey kind of coming down. There we go. And we could do a sentiment like, are you a good witch or a bad witch? Or kind of, or we could do the yellow brick road or the Emerald City kind of down here. That might be a little bit of fun. Oh, there's another monkey. Oh, I think that doing another monkey would be fun with this. Kind of fills in some space. And because, you know, she didn't just have one monkey. She had flying monkeys. And my dot, dot, not a lot right there is probably dot, dot too much because it's seeping out. You can see, you can just kind of decorate on top of the foil and let the foil become the centerpiece. Let it speak for itself. Okay, so I do think that that's probably a little bit too much green. Everything's kind of like getting lost now at the moment. So I could back that, or I could put this down to add a little bit of color. And that's what I'm going to do right in the corner, as I'm forgetting to glue it, but no worries, no worries. And then I'm probably going to put a little sentiment up here. Okay, so I hope my creative process is inspiring you to kind of get out your own creativity and start your foiling journey if that's what you want to do. It's so much fun. Let's see. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? That's probably good, right? But I don't want to just stick that with green. I do want to put that, I want to back that on something a little bit. And I'm going to back it on here and then just cut it. I'm going to attempt to cut it, is what I'm going to do. Okay. best I can. This paper that this came with is really thick too, and it's kind of double-sided. There's just a solid color on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to bubble cut it here. And, you know, it's not going to be an even bubble, I can tell you that. But it just gives it a little bit more color so the green doesn't get lost. Kind of looks like a wax seal, so there's that. And then I am going to still ink up around the edges just to kind of give it a little bit more, cover up my unevenness a little bit. So there, so there's like the wax seal that it comes with. And then we'll glue this on that, and then that is done. And I will put this in that journal as well. There we go. So there is this card, it's done. And if you wanted to mat this with like another piece of paper, you could just cut it down a little bit so there's a matte border. I mean, kind of get as creative as you want, but like I said, I like to put cards in my journals because I'm really big into card making. I love the journaling. And this is a project that I started that I wanted to just kind of continue on. And I like using the wet glue because it gives me a little bit of time. Okay. So hopefully you guys are liking the video. If you're here, if you stuck with me this long, I'll assume you don't hate it. And don't forget to like, and if you found some inspiration today, you can share. And I hope you subscribe. I tried to subscribe to as many of the other creators as I can as I go through my different collaborations and I discover them. And I love learning from other people. And I love sharing creativity. It's just kind of like a positive spot in the world, and it's fun. And sometimes I do a little bit of snarky crafting too, but not, you know, not like on the regular, but Tim Holtz has some really good, he has some really good snarky sentiments, I do have to tell you. So, we're going to put him on the inside. And I'm just going to put him right down here, and we can write our sentiment or do whatever we want around him. And there we go. And I'm not a big fan of all of this white space. I am just not. So I do like to kind of zhuzh up my white space a little bit. Kind of make it so we highlight what's in the middle. That's just how I am. That's just a me thing. Okay. There we go. Especially if I'm putting it in a journal. Okay. So, this is the card that we made. And I'll put my personalized stamp on the back. I do not see it here. Actually, I do. I see it right here. Because I like to put my personalized stamp on the back, and I have a little piece of foam that I like to do that with. Just kind of helps with the stamp, make connection with the paper. And I'll put it right here. This is kind of a very well-loved personalized stamp, so it may not go down very evenly, but it went down pretty well. And then we'll do the same with this. I try to remember to do this on my cards as I go, because I'll like make cards in bulk and I'll give them out, and Okay, I just gave my mom like 15 of them for a gift. Thank you, Trish, for joining. Bye. Have a great day. I'll do some more foiling videos in the near future, and hopefully we can all learn from each other. Okay. So we have that. And I hope the shaking has stopped a little bit. It's not bothering. And then I don't know if I have another pocket in here in this journal big enough, or a belly band is what I could do. Or I could just like stick this in here, right? That would be like a fun spot for it. That's where she could go, right there. And then we have another tip out that we made. This is all a lot of stinking white space, right? So I could do like a pocket right here if that's what I wanted to do. And kind of zhuzh it up with some more ephemera. I mean, Toto might be good in there too. I could just kind of keep going and going and going. I think I am going to make this a pocket though while I'm here. And some of my journals are just labors of love. They're just fun. They're just fun. And I'm going to try to wrap up in the next few minutes and not take up too much of your time. And then I need to go change out my laundry. And I did make a chocolate sourdough loaf last night. I sliced into that. It turned out well. Oops, it was a little bit of a different recipe than what I've done in the past. It was a lot more flour and then a lot more liquid, so it didn't fluff up as much as I wanted it to, but it had a lot more ingredients as well. So I'm pretty sure I need to learn from that experience, but I want to go slice that up so I can put some in a bag for my son and his family, and then I can keep some for my daughter and myself. And I'm just going to put Toto in here because then we have this, I'll get you my pretty and your little dog too. I'll get that going. And if I did inspire you today and with the Crafty Critta products that I have shown, I do have a discount code for you and it's in my description, but it's SMG05 and you will get that discount upon checkout. So I think that's a little bit of fun. I love a good discount code, right? Especially when I'm trying to be more intentional in 2026. But I will be here next Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And my goal is to do one video a week and one live a week. So I'll be here on YouTube twice a week. And that's kind of how I've been doing it for a little bit until Christmas crept up on me. Like, not really, it's been on the calendar, right? But, you know, everything gets a little bit busy. Okay. And I am going to knock back some of this white space on here just so it's not so stark white screaming at you. But I kind of meant to, I left it this way on purpose so I could add whatever elements I wanted to. Sometimes it's just really fun to have a journal that like an ongoing journal that's just like a little passion project of yours. I have like 2 of those going on, and maybe I'll bring out my other one next week. It's like a childhood journal, like the all 80s and 90s stuff. It's real fun. Yeah. But it kind of gives you, thought I lost Toto. Stick him in there, and but it just gives you something fun to craft about in your own spare time, and gives you some self-care. I think I want to have him be a tip out over here. Oh, see, there's my big fat pieces of cellotape. But I just think it'd be fun to have him be a tip out. And so then this page is a little bit more interactive. So we could put whatever we want in the pocket. And this white space is still bugging me. I'm just gonna clean off my brush with it. So then we get a little bit more of that. And I don't like how white that is going to be either. Goodness. Here, let's do it down here. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of trim this up just a little bit. And then there we go. Now it's not so white. Just gives it a little bit more interest. Makes it a little bit more interesting. There we go. And I probably am going to make it like a vignette. Or a vignette. One of my friends always telling me I pronounce things differently than her. Okay. There we go. And then the rest of the page is available to decorate as we will, or as we want to. Oh, my card bases are up there on my little shelf right there. Look at that. I didn't have to make new ones today. Okay, so this is what we created today, is a lot of foiling. And this is what we did with the waist. I'm really excited to use this on cards. I think that this is just like a really good birthday card. I really am excited about it. And I was able to make some pockets with the foiling, some tip outs with the foiling. Made several cards, put them in my journal, and here's the other card. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you for joining. I'm really glad that you guys were along for my little self-care time. I'll be back next Sunday. I'm going to be posting stuff on Instagram throughout the week, and I'm going to try to film another video this week. Make sure you cap off your glue because it will clog. And I think I capped it crooked. There. Have a great, great day. And if I've inspired you, like, share, comment, and here's the foil that I used today. And yeah, I have my link tree in the chat, so if you want to find anything in there, there we go. Okay, guys, I am going to leave, and I hope you guys have a fabulous, fabulous day, and I'll see you next week. Happy crafting, guys.